Hello guys, welcome back to another J-Love video. Today I'm here with my boy Andy. And today I'm going to have Andy to share a little bit about who he is and then we'll get into it.
Hi guys, Andy, 25 years old, married, been in the California Army National Guard for over 8 years now. I work at National Guard youth programs to work with some at-risk youth. Here today.
Yeah, awesome. So today you guys are going to have Andy share his story, a little bit of from his childhood to now, and just, Andy, if you don't mind, just talking about it.
Okay. Yeah, I grew up in Salinas, California. I mean, nothing really crazy to report on that front, I guess. I'm just, was a little, I don't know, I guess I just had like a normal childhood growing up. Obviously, being in Salinas, it isn't like the greatest, so being exposed to like gang stuff was pretty significant. And I always was like hanging around them, but never really like dove into it, thankfully. But I was around just enough to realize like how dumb it is, and like I was lucky enough to have this perspective of thinking of like this is not worth it. It's all fun and games until it's not, and then at that point it's too late, and you're just stuck in that world. And then from there, I went to Grizzly Youth Academy back in 2015, and it was like completely different world. I going from completely unstructured to structured was just it was a big. I guess it was like a big shock.
Yeah.
And it was exactly what I needed to be my push to be like joining into the military. And it was always in my mind to be in the military growing up. And this was just like my final push because I looked around and like, this is exactly where I want to work. This is exactly where I want to be. And, if you ask my supervisor today, because he was my cadre when I was here, he's like, I still remember to this day that conversation of like, you telling me you're going to work here. And so here I am.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah, so I went to Grizzly, graduated. I enlisted like immediately at 17 and a half. Finished up a few credits in independent studies. Then I went to Fort Benning, Georgia. Then to Fort Rucker, Alabama, where I went to aviation school to be an aviation operations specialist. Excuse me, this thing's making me burp.
No.
And so from Alabama, I moved back to Salinas for a little bit, where I got a job at Discovery Challenge Academy, which is the Grizzly of like up north. And so I spent a few years there. I deployed back in 2018 to 2019. I was in Kosovo. I had fun looking back on it, but like looking back, I also think I should have had a better mindset. Like I thought about it, like how negative. I looked at it at a negative standpoint when I was there a lot, and so I feel like I have really bad memories of it. But the ones that were good are like fucking solid. They're awesome. And then now looking back on it though, I'm like I should have had a better mindset. I should have. This like was so much fun. I don't understand why I thought about it being so terrible. I mean, I guess like some of the stuff that happened there was like I remember like just for example, like in my first week we were there, I was so discombobulated because I think it was like a 10-hour difference. And I remember just walking around and feeling like I'm like swaying as I walk. Like my body's just doing this. And like, it just feels weird. Like you could feel it in your head, you could feel it in your legs, like everything's so weightless. And then once they gave us that time to adjust, they loaded us up in a Black Hawk. We were flying around and got actually like missile locked from, I think it was like from Syria, from their surface to air missiles. Because we were flying too close to the border. Luckily nothing happened, but I mean I still remember to this day like looking at my friend like if this is the way to go, like if this is how we're going, this is the way it's gonna go. Like there couldn't be any better. Like I'm gonna be like that. Like I'm not gonna feel anything. So I came home from that. 2019, I think it was like July. we got home. I took a few months off of working, and by that I mean I just was so bored. I couldn't, so I had to go back to work. I went back to work at DCA, and then COVID shut us down for a class because we just didn't have enough numbers of students that applied because everyone's cautious of being exposed to COVID. So we had to give it like half a year to start up again. So they told us we had to justify like why we should still get paid. So those of us that didn't have like families, like wife, kids, and all that, got sent out to other academies, and the rest did like maintenance around the base. And so I chose to come to Grizzly because this is my stomping grounds. And every day I was here, it was like learning everything all over again because of how different the demographics of kids are from up north to like Central Coast. And everyone says it's no big difference because I've worked at both academies. They always tell me like it's not really that terrible, or like they're telling me here it's not terrible. I'm like, I know exactly what kind of kids we work with there. It's just totally different mindsets. And it's not necessarily that we're lucky here. We're like both places can be successful. I'm ranting, but just having to learn something totally different was nice because it gave me totally different perspectives of how to deal with all types of kids, all different walks of life, and every day I was here, my current supervisor, he was like, every day, you want a job? You want a job? You want a job? You want a job? I got positions. I got a job. And so I just had to tell him like I need to wait until, because I had an apartment up north with one of my friends that came down here with me as well. And so like I just need to make sure he doesn't get screwed over with our lease, and I need to make sure he gets a spot to stay before we move. And a little bit before all this happened, before COVID, is when I met my wife. And so we just hit over a year of being married back in August. Thank you. And then so we ended up moving here, and I think it was like March of 2021. We lived on the RV park on base actually, and we were here for like 8 months, and it was awesome. It was like, it's just beautiful. And like there's like no noise, there's like hardly any neighbors, they're always leaving, so it's like whatever. And the commute to work was awesome because it's like a walking to work. And we got kicked off base because like we have our Doberman, and it was a puppy, but like people were complaining, so we got kicked off. We moved to Camp Roberts, lived there for like a month, and then bought a home in July of 22, I think it was. And July or March, 21 or 2022, I can't remember. But been there ever since. I'm deploying soon. I'm gonna be gone for like 13 months.
Wow,
that's gonna be cool.
So, to let the viewers know, can you kind of describe what Grizzly is? What you do when you go to Grizzly Academy?
Are you talking about like just what I do at work, or is it like just going
like
the
whole thing? Cause like if you take Grizzly, people will be like, "What's Grizzly?"
So Grizzly is a quasi-military charter high school for kids who are at risk of dropping out, and that can mean a few things. And it's typically case by case if it's like not like credit deficient. And the kids live on base 7 days a week for those 5.5 months. One family day where everyone comes over and we do like a big barbecue basically, and then a home pass where it's like 4 to 5 days long. And so the kids are here. It's like a leadership academy basically with school, where they get like those 65 high school credits, which is like a year's worth in half the time. And so it is a pretty big opportunity, and I would say privilege to be accepted, because it's like you gain more than just 65 high school credits going to Grizzly.
Awesome. Okay. So what in your life have you have there ever been like a struggled, or have you ever like struggled or got depressed? And have you ever had any of that in maybe like growing up, like, or even being in in the suited up in the Army uniform, have there been times where you kind of were like struggling because you didn't know why, or?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everyone does. I feel like it's pretty normal because like just stuff happens, in life. When I was deployed in 2018, my girlfriend at the time left me for someone else, right before Christmas. So I was like, yeah. And then so in my head, I'm just like, well,
okay,
damn. But I guess life goes on. It did suck for like a couple days, but then I was just thinking about it, I was like, I don't mean like people come and go. So
every day. Yeah.
So I know that like at the end of the day, like I'd be fine because eventually I'm gonna get past it, and eventually I'm gonna find someone else, and eventually I'm gonna fall in love with someone else, and that'll be it. But then, and that's actually like after that, it's like when I started like hinting and flirting at my now wife.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah.
But like when I first came back from all my military training back in 2017, it was like early 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, like, I think it was sometime 2017.
Sometime that area.
Yeah. When I started working at DCA in Stockton, like I lived out of my car for like weeks and months because, I was 17. I was 17, 18 years old. Like I didn't have any money, and whatever money I had, like for some reason, like the military wasn't supplying stuff. Like I had to buy my own shoes there. Like I had to buy towels. I had to buy everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it was so weird because it was like hundreds of dollars worth of like regular stuff when I had that already. They're like, no, you can't wear those shoes. You need to buy these shoes. And it was like they give you this cart of like full of stuff, and it's like, here, pay for this, pay for your own haircuts, and it's like $5 to get a zero, and like, why am I having to pay for this if this is what I mean? I could have kept those receipts and put a tax return, but I was like 17. I'm not thinking about that. I'm just thinking about like, why am I spending my money for this? But anyways, I got home and I didn't have money. I had a car. It was a 1997 Acura Integra coupe.
Oh, come on.
It was lowered, 5-speed manual. The thing was beautiful. I loved it. But yeah, I was living out of that car for weeks, and then eventually I just figured out that like at a certain point, the people who work in the office leave, and I had a key. So I would just sleep in an office on a couch and then just wake up early enough to get out of there, go to the gym. I would shower at the gym. I remember living off of like a Chipotle order for like 3 or 4 days. Like a bowl. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, for 3 days. 3 days straight. That was my like breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Wow, bro.
A Chipotle bowl.
Oh, man.
And like my parents, they would hit me up. They'd be like, you at any point can come home and just go to school. We'll pay for everything. And like, we weren't poor. We weren't rich either. But like now at that point, my parents were doing good because my mom went to nursing school. My dad's a diesel mechanic. So they're well off now at that point. And so I tell them, because I tell my parents everything, like this is going on, like just like life updates. And I just was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go home. I left at 17 for a reason. I left because I wanted to figure out life on my own. I wanted to do things.
Absolutely.
And so at that point I'm like in the office. I'm like, I don't want a room. I don't want to do anything. No. And it's funny because I think back and I'm just like, I don't want to do chores. I don't want anyone to tell me what to do, which is funny because I'm in this. But
yeah, I know. Yeah.
But after I get off work, like, and this is why I love the National Guard, because I get off work and I go home. I do whatever I want. Whatever my wife says I can do. I'm just
do it, yeah.
But
hang with your dog, yeah.
Yeah, so like I do what I want. Like I can go to the pool. I can take a drive. I can go to a movie. I can go have dinner. I can stay up late. I can wake up early. I can wake up late, and get home on time. I don't have to like be set to such constraints as it is like versus like an active duty. And we were deployed with active duty units, and it's like we were talking about like the differences, and it's just like two different worlds. But yeah.
So to close it out, is there anything like you want to encourage people? I always tell people like at the end, like, is there anything that you want to encourage someone that maybe might help them learn or understand, or just maybe the future or whatever? Is there any like final statement that you want to encourage people that are watching it?
I would say the biggest thing that, and this is gonna sound a little rough, but I think the biggest thing that I was taught at such a young age was, and again, this was brutal being told to me, but it was someone telling me, "You're not special. You're not shit." Like, and it's not to like come at you like negatively to attack you. It's like it's to have that understanding of like, at any given point, I can be let go. I can be separated from the military. I can be separated from work. I can get fired. My wife can leave me. So it's more of like a humbling thing. Like, understand who you are, and then function that way, and then do the best that you can do. Mm-hmm. And it's that way you're not acting like you're someone that's big and bad. That you're not tough. You're not like, I'll act like I'm tough, but like I can get down, but but I'm not like carrying that with me. I'm not like going to like looking around like, oh, I can beat you up, I can outperform you. I'm not thinking like that. And it's because those people told me stuff like that I'm not special, that I need to just continue to work, to be humble, and to understand that like just keep doing you, that no matter what shit like life throws at you, like hell, this year's been horrible for me. I got super sick, got into a car accident, like I got told some really bad news like last week. And then like I got told that I'm deploying this year as well. Like, so all this year was just super, super crazy because it was filled with like weeks of like pain. And here I am still like working every single day. Like my arm's a little messed up from my accident. My back has been killing me, but
walking through, brother.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, so just making sure you're humble and like understanding that like you're gonna push through. And I had something else, but forgot what I was gonna say. It was like understanding that life is gonna carry on. Yeah. That the world isn't gonna stop because I'm going through something. The world's gonna keep going, and you're either going to continue to move forward with it, or you're going to be stuck at where you're at. So that means two things: understanding that you got to keep going, keep moving, or you're going to be stagnant. Like always worked for something better, like to keep taking those steps to get to being better.
Yeah, awesome, brother. Thank you again.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you, Andy, for an awesome story. Till next time. Your boys right here, J Love and Andy, are gonna peace out. So we want to say goodbye.